Hello, Lenawee. My name is Brian Vish. Let's take a look at the headlines this week in Lenawee.
Accurate, dependable, and late-breaking. This is local and state news on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Tecumseh school leaders are providing new details following last week's decision to demolish the Tecumseh Community Memorial Pool. The pool was the central topic at last week's Tecumseh Public Schools Board of Education meeting, where officials voted to move forward with demolition after engineers found serious structural concerns inside the building. At the time, district leaders said the decision was driven by safety with community input planned for what comes next. Now, in a letter sent to families, Superintendent Matt Hilton explained how the district arrived at that decision. Hilton said the pool was initially closed for what was expected to be a mechanical systems replacement, but further inspections uncovered extensive corrosion throughout the structural steel supporting the pool roof. Hilton wrote, quote, "What began as a mechanical systems replacement project revealed a structural crisis that makes the building unsafe for public occupancy. As such, the mechanical systems replacement was paused and never done," unquote. The district officials say the pool must remain closed, demolition planning is moving ahead, and a superintendent-led committee will gather community input on future aquatic options. Blissfield Main Street is sharing two upcoming updates for the community. First, organizers have announced a new date for the downtown Wine Around. The 2026 event will now take place on April 10th. Additional details are expected to be released in the coming weeks, but residents are encouraged to save the date. The DDA is also launching a new weekly farmers market this spring. The Blissfield Farmers Market will open Thursday, May 7th, and will run every Thursday through October 15th. The market will be held at the American Farm Museum, formerly the Hathaway House, at 424 West Adrian Street in Blissfield. There will be no market on October 1st due to the Harvest Festival. Organizers say the market will feature local farmers, vendors, and artisans with more announcements to come. The Veterans Relief Fund approved emergency assistance requests during a meeting of the Lenawee County Department of Veterans Affairs Executive Committee last Friday. Committee members authorized full emergency support for a Vietnam War veteran facing immediate needs related to utilities, fuel, and food. The assistance was approved under the county's Veterans Relief Fund guidelines for urgent hardship situations. The committee also reviewed a separate request from a Persian Gulf War veteran seeking help with property tax obligations. In that case, members approved partial assistance with conditions attached. Under the agreement, the veteran must pay outstanding penalties and fees by February 28, 2026, and participate in a financial counseling session as part of the relief process. Committee members noted the conditions are intended to provide short-term stability while addressing long-term financial challenges. Officials said the Veterans Relief Fund is designed to provide temporary aid to eligible veterans while ensuring responsible use of public funds. Additional Veterans Relief Fund applications will be reviewed at future committee hearings as they are submitted. The Lenawee County Board of Commissioners is recognizing the work of local school board members across the county. Commissioners unanimously approved a proclamation declaring January as Local School Board Member Recognition Month, highlighting the role school boards play in guiding policy, budgets, and student success for nearly 15,000 K-12 students in Lenawee County.
I have the pleasure of reading the Local School Board Member Recognition Month. Whereas providing for the education of Michigan school-aged children is a fundamental duty of state government as stated in the Michigan Constitution of 1963, and whereas the education of our youth is the foundation upon which the economic, social, and intellectual strength of the state of Michigan is built, and whereas locally elected school boards play a vital role in representative democracy and the decisions made by local boards of education directly influence instruction, policy, and student success in Michigan's public schools. And whereas Lenawee County's 82 local school board members devote significant time and effort to governing their districts, including setting policy, overseeing budgets, hiring leadership, and engaging with educators, families, and the community, all with a continued focus on student achievement. And whereas the leadership and decisions of local school board members impact the present and future lives of children and help prepare nearly 15,000 K-12 students in Lenawee County to succeed in a competitive 21st century global economy. And whereas Local School Board Member Recognition Month provides an opportunity to acknowledge and thank these dedicated public servants for their commitment to public education and civic responsibility. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim January 2026 as Local School Board Member Recognition Month in Lenawee County and encourages all residents to recognize and appreciate the service, leadership, and dedication of local school board members throughout the county. I so moved.
During Wednesday's meeting, commissioners acknowledged the time and commitment required of school board members, many of whom serve in a volunteer capacity while balancing professional and family responsibilities. Speaking on behalf of educators and school boards was Lenawee Intermediate School District Superintendent Mark Haig, who emphasized just how many local leaders are involved and how much work happens outside the public eye.
One of the things mentioned in there that Commissioner Krasny was reading, and I think a lot of people don't realize that there are 82 elected board members across the county, 11 districts who have 7 board members, and then the 5 at the ISD. Depending on the district, depending on the time or the year, I'll say some of those people put in an immense amount of time, whether it's in meetings around issues or just being present in their district for events and activities and so on. So I think I speak for Yvonne and the rest of the board members, even though I'm not one of those 82, is that we appreciate the recognition, and I think they empathize with you and the work as an elected official. So thank you.
Thank you.
Haig was speaking after the proclamation was formally adopted by the Board of Commissioners at the Old County Courthouse in Adrian. County officials are encouraging residents to take this time of the month to recognize and thank local school board members for their service to education.
Hello, Lenawee. I'm Ian Wendt. Let's take a dive inside the cave. Bryn Davis, London Schmidt, and Hadley Fansler led the Lenawee Christian Cougars girls basketball team to a victory over Onstead in midweek action 49-44. Davis led the Cougars with 16, Schmidt scored 13, and Fansler had 11. The Blissfield Royals girls basketball team took down Summerfield on Tuesday 60-42. Lee Wyman led the Royals with 25 points, Kalia Braun with 17, Demaya Gibbons with 8 points and 12 rebounds for Blissfield. The Adrian Maples girls basketball team defeated Madison on Tuesday 49-34. Amor Sanchez led the Maples with 20. The Madison boys basketball team picked up a non-league win over Tecumseh on Tuesday 43-38. Eli Hyatt led the Trojans with 12 points. Jackson Salambine's 33 points helped power Lenawee Christian boys basketball to an 89-52 win over Sand Creek in midweek Tri-County Conference action. The Adrian Maples boys basketball team gave Onstead their first loss of the season in a tight and contested ball game on Tuesday in Wildcat Country. John Kane called the game on 96.5 The Cave and Lenawee TV.
The Onstead Wildcats entertained the Adrian Maples in boys high school basketball action Tuesday night, and what a whale of a game it was. Onstead came in 13-0 on the season. The Maples were 10-2. Wildcats led by 2 at the end of the first quarter. Maples by 2 at halftime. Wildcats by 2 going into the fourth. But it was 2 huge triples by the Planet Fitness of Adrian, player of the game, Benjamin Perez, that staked Adrian to a 2-possession lead, and they hung on for a 50-46 victory. Maples were paced in scoring by Jackson Francis with 18. Lamont McKinney added 13. For Onstead, it was Mason Chesser who led the way with 13, and Bryson Sutherland added 12. Final score once again, it was the Adrian Maples 50, the Onstead Wildcats 46. From Onstead, I'm John Kane.
The Blissfield Royals bowling team took down Hillsdale in midweek action 27-3. John Chaney had the high score at 246. Preston Iflin rolled a 213 and a 211. Matthew Anderson rolled a 216, and Colin Redder fired a 238. Blissfield also rolled to another LCAA Jamboree win at 10-Pin Alley in Tecumseh. Matthew Anderson with a 258, Colin Redder with a 210, while Preston Iflin fired a 219. The 120 finalists for the Michigan High School Athletic Association's Scholar-Athlete Awards for the 2025-26 school year have been announced, including 4 students from Lenawee County. Farm Bureau Insurance underwrites the Scholar-Athlete Awards and will present a $2,000 scholarship to each recipient. Adrian's Reese Bolo is a finalist for Class A. Tecumseh's Tucker Cole is a finalist for Class B. Hope Miller from Blissfield is a finalist in Class C. Silent Bresnik from Lenawee Christian is a finalist in Class D. Hudson Wrestling won the Hudson Super 16 with Heartland taking second and Oxford securing third. Madison placed 31st and Sand Creek took 34th at the highly competitive event. Hudson's Royce Beal, Nicholas Sorrow, and Becca Campbell all took home first-place finishes. Sand Creek's Thomas Shanks finished in first place as well. Adrian College Athletics hit the national stage this week as former NFL coach and current sports analyst John Gruden met the Bulldogs men's volleyball team at the airport. A post on social media has been making the rounds. Gruden also opened a box full of Adrian College gear and posted it on his social media accounts. The Adrian College NCAA women's hockey team swept Northern Collegiate Hockey Association opponent Lake Forest over the weekend. The Bulldogs' 5-2 and 6-0 victories were aired on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com. Riley Johnson had 5 points on the weekend, and Courtney Ben had 4. Kiara Stack did not allow a goal in 5 periods of work in net. Head coach of the first-place Bulldogs, Chad Davis, gave his thoughts on the weekend.
Yeah, overall, just looking back now that we've gone through the weekend, I had a minute to look at some of the video and kind of digest it. Hey, real solid. I think we're heading in the right direction. We're talking about special teams. We got one. Our penalty kill was good. Excellent in the net on the way out, and we didn't give any up, and we're putting the puck in the net. So, hey, we're positioned to keep going forward, and really two wins on the road is always tough.
The Bulldogs are home for the next 4 games, hosting the University of Dubuque and St. Norbert College. The Adrian College NCAA men's hockey team swept conference foe Lake Forest College 6-1 and 6-2. The Bulldogs return to action this weekend when they travel to the University of Dubuque for a 2-game series. The Adrian College women's wrestling team reached a significant milestone this week, earning a spot in the NCAA Women's Top 25 Coaches Poll for the first time this season. The Bulldogs debuted at number 20 in the latest ranking released by the National Wrestling Coaches Association. Mia Gagins, Alexis Baumgartner, Carly Charneski, and Zion Gartner highlight the Bulldog squad. D3Baseball.com released its preseason top 25 poll, and the Adrian College baseball team checked in at number 20 in the opening rankings. Adrian is the lone representative from the MIAA in the D3Baseball.com preseason top 25 poll. The Bulldogs will open their season at LaGrange College on February 20th. The Siena Heights women's basketball team has won back-to-back games, defeating U of M Dearborn and Cornerstone. In the Saints' 87-76 conference win over Cornerstone, Taviana Davis poured in a game-high 28 points. Jan Thigpen led the way for SHU against U of M Dearborn. She scored 21 points and secured 15 rebounds in Siena's 72-61 win. The Siena Heights men's basketball team had split results in recent conference play, losing to Cornerstone 94-77 and beating U of M Dearborn 107-103. Joshua Wilson delivered a standout performance for the Saints against Cornerstone, scoring 26 points. Nick Sobush poured in a team-high 26 points against the Wolverines. Siena Heights triple jumper Calvin Randolph finished first as the Siena Heights men's indoor track and field team competed at the Saginaw Valley State Invitational. Pole vaulters Cooper Bolton, Ethan Reeves, and Corey Turner tied for runner-up honors. Pole vaulter Emma Stewart placed first with an NAIA automatic qualifying height. Sister Catherine Stewart followed in second place. Emma Valentine was runner-up in the high jump. For 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com, I'm Ian Wendt with This Week in Lenawee.
City leaders in Tecumseh say new housing and commercial development could reshape the community in 2026, following a busy year for the Planning Commission and recent approvals by the City Commission. Mayor Brian Radon says interest from developers is beginning to translate into real projects across the city.
We're starting to see a lot of economic growth in Tecumseh. There was a lot of commercial site plans at the west end, the 1200 block. There's a fueling station that was approved. As far as residential goes, Lone Oak Properties that entered into a tax increment financing, housing TIF that is going to bring 37 residential homes to that subdivision. The rest of that subdivision is really taking off as well. We've had interest from other contractors that have in the past talked to us about some residential projects, and they are looking at getting those underway.
City officials say the Planning Commission spent much of last year reviewing site plans, zoning updates, and development proposals, including changes to the city's ordinance code to better align with modern construction standards. During a recent City Commission meeting, members approved several routine items tied to long-term planning, including land use agreements and infrastructure-related measures. Radon says the city's focus now is on how growth affects the broader community, including schools, workforce development, and future business recruitment.
Oh, it's going to be great to see the housing get to take off. You know, you drive northeast of here and you see a lot of housing. So it's good to finally bring some of those folks to Tecumseh to help improve the talent base that we've got and keep building off from our residents. I think it's going to help the school district as well to bring families to the city.
Radon says additional residential construction could also help attract new employers, including interest tied to Tecumseh Technology Park. City leaders say several projects are expected to move forward this year as developers continue conversations with planning officials. I'm Brian Vish for WLEN, Lenawee's local news station. Hello, Lenawee County. It is time for Hometown Hope, our monthly spotlight where we turn up the mic for a local nonprofit making a real difference right here in Southeast Michigan. This January, we're honored to shine that spotlight on Goodwill Industries of Southeastern Michigan. Goodwill is more than a thrift store. It's a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to helping people facing barriers to employment and independence. Through job training, skill building, community inclusion programs, and meaningful partnerships with local employers, Goodwill works every day to help folks gain confidence, learn new skills, and find lasting opportunities. Their mission is simple but powerful: to provide exceptional opportunities for people overcoming challenges, and through your donations, purchases, and support, that mission becomes a reality. So today, we'll be sharing stories of programs that are transforming futures and how you too can get involved.
When folks come and donate to Goodwill, they can expect great customer service along with the trust that we put every item to good use, whether we sell it in the stores or recycle it or keep it out of the landfill. We do everything we can to do the best that we can with each item. Every item translates into a job or an experience to our individuals that we serve. We sell our items and those revenues go towards all of our mission services programs and help to ensure people find employment who are facing barriers, or another service like our day programs here in Lenawee County. We partner with several organizations in the community to help individuals obtain employment. No matter what barrier they may be facing, we at Goodwill do what we can to help them find a place, maybe do a trial work experience to work on their job skills, and we provide a job coach to help them through that process. Throughout Lenawee County, we have job placements and different businesses that we work with that let us place students there, and that's something we're always looking for businesses that are willing to let us come in and provide that experience to people of all ages who are facing barriers to employment.
That mission comes to life every day through Goodwill's job coaches, including Angelo Brooks, who's helping prepare people for real-world work one shift at a time.
My current position is job coach, or they call it, I believe it's a direct support professional now. But yeah, my job just entails getting people ready for the workforce, whether it means, working on those soft skills, working on the respect, showing up on time, and then you got those hard skills, which is like actually performing the tasks and just getting them ready for the workforce. It's kind of it's an exciting thing to talk about, because not a lot of people, when they think about Goodwill, not a lot of people are familiar with how many things we do. When most people hear Goodwill, they just think thrift store, but in reality, there's just so much we do, and it feels good.
Goodwill's greatest strength is definitely the mission and the services they provide to the community. I like to say we're Lenawee's best kept secret, because lots goes on in this building that lots of people don't know about. Everybody knows about our retail stores. They don't necessarily know about all the programs and services that we provide, all the recycling initiatives that we have, and the contract services that we provide also.
So e-commerce works a lot like eBay, if you're familiar with it. We post things online for people all over the country. They bid on those. Occasionally we'll do like a buy it now thing, but primarily just like a timed auction where people can bid on it. We offer local pickup for people here in our community, and we ship all over the country, even Alaska and Hawaii.
Goodwill means, if I'm just talking about how it's improved myself, Goodwill is probably the first job where I felt a sense of like community and family. And for me, I used to be that kind of shy, introverted, unconfident person, and the way Goodwill just takes care of their people is just, I'm very happy here, and I've grown a lot here. I'm very appreciative for them.
Goodwill means to me a safe place for all individuals to come, whether they're looking for employment, for quality of life, or just to have some fun. And I think it also means a lot to me, all the things that we do for the community. I know that we work very hard to recycle items, to provide great services, and have awesome retail stores for people to shop in.
The Michigan State Police are now accepting applications for 2 competitive public safety grant programs funded in the state's fiscal year 2026 budget. The grants are being administered through the Michigan State Police Grants and Community Services Division and are aimed at supporting cold case investigations and critical incident mapping across the state. Under the first program, Michigan universities that currently operate or plan to begin a cold case program during the fiscal year 2026 may apply for up to $200,000. The funding can be used for programmatic and operational expenses. Applications are due by noon, February 18th. A second grant opportunity is available to Michigan counties to support the development of public safety critical incident mapping. Counties are requesting up to $25,000 per grant, with each county eligible for up to 3 grants. Those applications are due by noon on March 4th. State police officials say the funding is intended to strengthen public safety efforts already underway across Michigan. Additional details and application materials are available through the Michigan State Police Grants and Community Services Division website. The MLK Spirit Award was presented Tuesday night during the Tecumseh City Council meeting, recognizing a local student for leadership and community service. City officials announced Macy Schmidt as the recipient of the 2026 Tecumseh Community Martin Luther King Jr. Spirit Award, which honors individuals who demonstrate a commitment to inclusivity, service, and building a strong sense of belonging in the community. Schmidt was selected based on her record of community involvement, leadership skills, and efforts to make a positive impact in Tecumseh. City leaders said her work reflects the values promoted by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the city's goals of fostering a welcoming and inclusive environment. As part of the recognition, Schmidt will receive a $1,000 academic scholarship. City officials said they expect Schmidt to continue contributing to the community and wished her continued success in her future academic and civic pursuits. January is Radon Action Month, and health officials across Michigan are urging residents to test their homes for a dangerous gas they can't see, smell, or taste. Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas and the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, responsible for more than 21,000 deaths every year, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. State officials estimate 1 in every 4 Michigan homes has radon levels above the federal action level. In Lenawee County, that number climbs to 1 in every 2 homes. Radon forms from the natural breakdown of uranium in soil and rock. Outdoors, it disperses safely, but when it enters buildings through foundation cracks, sump pumps, or openings in wiring and plumbing, it can become trapped and reach unhealthy levels. Because radon is odorless and invisible, testing is the only way to know if a home is affected. The EPA and Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy say homes with radon levels at or above 4 picories per liter should take action to reduce exposure. In recognition of Radon Action Month, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has officially declared January 26 as Radon Action Month in Michigan, encouraging residents to test their homes and take steps to reduce elevated radon levels. Health officials also recommend retesting every 2 to 5 years since homes settle over time and radon levels can change. If high levels are detected, radon mitigation systems can be installed to capture the gas before it enters the home and vent it safely outside. In Lenawee County, the local health department is offering free radon test kits throughout January. Residents can pick up a kit in person and receive help interpreting the results if needed. More information is available by calling 517-264-5214 or visiting lenaweehealthdepartment.org. And that'll wrap it up for us here at WLEN This Week in Lenawee. For WLEN News, I'm Brian Vish.
Count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.